Okay, everyone, the weekend is over. We're back at Monday morning. Thanks once again for turning up here and watching. And yeah, we're 5 games done of pre-season now, just 2 more to go. They'll both come this week, and then we will be getting ready for the start of the competitive action. So what are we? Less than 2 weeks out from our league opener against St Mirren. And still the squad needs a fair bit of work. We may touch on that a little bit today. A bit of outgoing chat as well. A couple of the disastrous class of the summer of 2023 departing the club. We'll touch on that, but we're starting with Kieran Tierney. Yep, this is actually from Friday, but I think it's still pretty interesting for us all to have a look at together. You probably saw that on Friday, Kieran Tierney was officially unveiled as a Celtic player again, back at Celtic Park, scarf above his head. He spoke to the media, the traditional broadcast media, he spoke to the print media, and he also spoke to Celtic fan media, and it's that press conference that I've got for you here. GigPod were there, and Stevie's been good enough to send over the footage, so have a look at this in its entirety. Lots of interesting stuff, and the first 2 questions are from Gaffers, who was there on behalf of GigPod.
Just want to know what the initial reaction feeling was when you knew for 100% you were going to be coming back to Celtic. Well, when was it, and how did you sort of find out?
Thanks a lot. The time I heard was January, is when I found out I was going to be a free agent. And from there, spoke to Celtic, and it was touch and go if it was going to happen in January, but I'd signed the pre-contract for it to be guaranteed in the summer anyway, so in January I knew for sure.
Obviously you left Celtic at 21, I had to go 6 years away at Arsenal and then at Sociedad. Do you think coming back here now, this is where you'll be for the rest of your career? You've had your time away and this is where you want to be?
I think so, because you don't come back to your home at 28 and you think about somewhere else again. Obviously in football you generally never know, and I know that from the first time as well. I grew up never thinking you would leave Celtic or that, but football things can happen. But for me, I can see myself, I've signed a long-term deal, so I can see myself being here for the rest of my career.
Kieran, what's your first impressions been of the new squad? A lot of new faces, the same manager, but new players as well to play alongside.
It's been great. I missed the first week or whatever it was because I was in national duty, so I came back and I could see how much the boys were flying, how much hard work they put in. It's a physical side, there's a lot of pace and power and strength in it, so it's been great.
I'm interested in tactically as well. In the 6 years you've been away, you've played centre-back for Scotland, you've played left wing for Arsenal in the forward areas, other various roles as well. Do you think you've morphed into a more versatile player as well?
I'd probably say, I probably could say that, but left wing or centre back is somewhere I've always kind of been comfortable with. Mostly the centre back and left wing. But yeah, even when the gaffer was here the first time, there was games where I played centre back and a back 4, or if we changed to the back 5, I would be wing back. So nothing really new to me, but yeah, it's more adaptable probably, yeah.
And is there a particular moment, the first spell, that sticks out to you, or is it all about kind of replicating that success?
Yeah, just to be successful here is to keep Celtic at the top. I think that's everyone's ambition, and every player will tell you it doesn't matter where you play. It's about keeping Celtic at the top, and that's what matters to me.
Was this always in your plans to come back to Celtic, and do you feel it's maybe came a lot sooner than you would have thought?
I don't know if I had plans as such, because as I said, in football anything can happen, so you never know. But I think you're always thinking about if you can, or when can it happen, and when's the most likely time, and that timing there was just perfect.
How do you analyse the current Celtic team? You've probably been watching as much as all of us, how you've progressed in the time you've been away.
I see them, as I say, a physical team who like to press high, win the ball back high up the park. A team that the gaffer likes to see, like we were the first time around as well. It's a team of high energy, people who want to take the ball, people who want to make things happen, get goals and assists and clean sheets. So yeah, the manager's vision is the same.
Injuries is something that always gets made a lot about yourself. How do you balance giving 100% in every game, and then with the thought sometimes there might be an injury in your career? It's something you've really battled through.
To me, there's no thought. I don't go in thinking about anything other than giving 100%. Obviously, stuff's happened during the game, but as a footballer, what can you do? I do my best in my recovery to make sure my body's right every time, every day. But I'll always give them all on the park, regardless of what other people think.
Can I just ask about your experience at other teams, just to go to the training, and what experience you now bring back, having trained with other teams and having had that broader kind of depth? What have the differences been?
Different managers have got different ideas. I worked with a few different managers. Clubs have been in different points. Like with Sociedad, we were fighting for Champions League football. Arsenal, in the first few years, we were fighting to get back up there. So you're fighting for different things. We've been in different situations in football and in life. So I think when you look back, you realise how much you've learned and how much experience you've got.
And that brings with it different expectations. I guess you talk about being in different positions. What's it like being back at Celtic and the expectation that you feel here?
Yeah, the expectation here is to win. I've had that for the 15 years I was here before. So I know nothing's changed there, and I know the expectation. I know how hard it is. But I just want to be successful as the first time and do what's best for Celtic as always.
And just on that expectation, lastly from me, you obviously were a young player coming up through the academy and playing for Celtic. You've now got all that experience. Is that something you think you can help younger players with, kind of dealing with that level of expectation at Celtic?
Yeah, for sure. I think the changing room is full of people who can help, like James Forrest, who's been here for so many years, Cal McGregor as well. Even people in the staff who can help as well. And if I can be part of that and help people, then I would love to do that.
Thank you.
Kieran, unique set of circumstances where, as a fan, you're moving away from Celtic. The benefit to the club's £25 million, and you must feel good that the club you love has earned that money. But you go away and we don't win the 10 in a row, and you must be sitting in London thinking, I wish I'd stayed and we helped the club get there. Is there a wee bit of you now thinking, I'm back, we're at 4 in a row, I've signed for 5 years? It's the art of the possible is to deliver what we didn't deliver the last time, we might have if you'd stayed.
That's a mad question, that. No, of course you want Celtic, obviously, at the time to win the 10 in a row, and unfortunately it didn't happen for whatever reasons. But nah, I'm not thinking 5-6 years ahead now. No, I'm just thinking here and now, the next game, being ready, and that's it.
Think about this season, yeah. And the big thing is we get you back in for nothing as well. Major bonus, It feels like I'm doing £1 signing if we go for nothing, which is great. Again, futuristic question around, do you see maybe further down the line following in the footsteps of Scott Brown, a good friend of yours named Carl McGregor, and the potential to maybe use some of your leadership qualities and your experience to lead the team in the future? Not the immediate future, but further down the line.
I'll just be myself in training every day and in games. And it's something, if the manager and the coaches think that's something I can do, then I'll be more than happy to do that. But as you said, I'm not thinking that too far ahead, and I know Callum's still got a good few years left anyway.
Fantastic. And then, with regards to personnel, I know a couple of guys have asked the questions already, just to put you on the spot a little bit, whether it be last year watching on the TV or just the couple of days that you've had at Lennoxtown, anybody that's particularly impressed you where you thought, wow, this person is something special?
I think just coming back, you realise how good Cal McGregor is. I think when you've been away from him for so long, you come back, you just realise he just keeps getting better and better. So he's one player, and obviously Dizan on the left is someone who's incredible physically, and he's just a joy to play with. I've only played a couple of games with him in some training sessions, but he's a joy to play with.
I look forward to you still playing on that wing, Colby. Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome home. When you made your breakthrough into the first, did you know the players that helped you beat that transition, and what kind of advice did they give you?
Bruni, for sure, because he was my coach at the under-20s for a while, so he helped me coming up. I had guys like Charles Mulgrew, Mikael Lustig, players like that with so much experience, like international level and club level, so players like that helped me massively and just give me tips along the way, especially even as a Geary as well in my position, who helped me a lot. Although we were competing for places, he was so genuine with me and really wanted the best for me as well, and he's still someone that I keep in touch with now.
And that's your job now. Pass that on.
For sure, young players coming in, I would love to be able to help them in any experiences and stuff I've learned over the years. I'd love to pass that on to them.
All of this.
Thank you.
Kieran, you had the chance to visit the Estadio Nacional earlier this week. I heard you say in the club podcast that you'd never had the chance to go before, so how special was that for you and for Goal Squad as well?
That was special. And I think even the people who never supported Celtic growing up realised how special it was, because we got the kind of tour as well, and up through the tunnel onto the pitch. And you've obviously seen the iconic photos of the trophy getting lifted with Celtic fans in the back, so it's amazing stadium, and for this club it's a massive part of the history.
Kieran, welcome back. Great to have you back there. We actually went out to the listeners for a couple of questions, so if I can ask from them. So first one was Chip O'Dwyer McCready. He was asking, you've come through the youth system at Celtic, you know that bond that fans have with someone that comes through the youth talent and becomes a team player. What advice would you give to someone who's kind of knocking that door just now? How do they get to the level you got to?
I think you just need to keep doing what they're doing, and always, whatever their strengths are, keep working on them as well. Always enjoy every moment in football. When you're trying to break into that team, you need a bit of luck as well. So you need a bit of luck, you need to work hard always, and just give everything you've got and enjoy every minute.
Right. Second one from Sparta Crag, not sure it's his real name, that last week's goal man. So you obviously a Celtic fan like the rest of us, being away for those 5-6 years, we've had a great amount of success in that period. Who's the players of that time that you really, were impressed by or looked out for?
Everybody, to be fair. And I'm good mates with Greg, obviously, so I always watched him, and the combination that him and Dizan had on the left as well these last few years has been excellent, and like mates with Callum and that as well. So the ones you kind of played with before or you keep in touch with is the ones I would look out for more, but I watched as much as I can.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Really interesting stuff. Great questions. I loved the stuff. I think the guys from Celtic Fans TV asking about 10 in a row, and yeah, we need to get more of that kind of chat going. What are we at? 4 in a row now. I mean, last time around we were starting to get quite excited. I'm kind of joking. I don't think anyone's as obsessed with 10 in a row this time. But yeah, enjoyed that question. Enjoyed a lot of his answers. Yeah, I think the big one, I think it was maybe the second question, asking, do you think you're here for the rest of your days? And as much as Kieran Tierney said, look, in football, you can't ever say anything with any real certainty, which I think applies to life, I guess, as well. Things can change. As much as he did say that, I was quite surprised for him actually then to after that say that, yeah, he does think that he's here, that when you go away from home and then return home, you're not really thinking about leaving again. And I mean, Kieran Tierney's only just turned 28, and, God willing and stay injury free, we could be looking at the best part of a decade of Kieran Tierney being at Celtic, which is a pretty amazing thought. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed I think on 2 separate occasions, bringing up Andrej Bačanin as both someone that he's enjoyed watching from afar when he wasn't at Celtic, but also I think since he started training with Andrej Bačanin, really appreciating the qualities he's got. And I don't know how you feel, but I'm just so excited about that left-hand side of the team. Dyson with all of his brilliance that we saw last season and the energy he brings. And for me, the best left back I've ever seen at Celtic. That's not controversial in any way, is it? Kieran Tierney. The idea of having those two together, yeah, the left-hand side of the team is going to be great. So amazing to have Kieran Tierney back. As I commented on yesterday, I thought him coming back out at Celtic Park and the ovation he got, I thought that was a really, really special moment. So, yeah, all smiles. Right, in terms of Celtic news, as I said at the top of the show, more about outgoings today. There's a couple of things to tell you about. First thing is, Lewis Palma is now in Poland. We know this because of footage shared by journalist Dawid Dobrac on X yesterday of Palma arriving at Poznan airport. He's expected to have a medical today, and a loan move to Lech Poznan should be confirmed shortly. I did see it reported that they have a potential buyout option in the deal of, I think, just over £3 million, which would be pretty good business as far as we're concerned. Just an interesting wee side point in all of this. I did notice actually when I was reading some of the Polish media stuff on Lewis Palma, and one of the things that they're talking about in Poland is whether he's able to be registered for European competition this week. And it's actually the Champions League qualifying that Lech Poznan are in. They won the Polish Ekstraklasa last season, so they start this midweek in the second qualifying round of the UEFA Champions League. They're playing the Icelandic champions Breiðablik, who are a decent enough side, but Lech Poznan pretty big favourites to win that tie. If they do win that, you know where I'm going with this. If they do win that, qualifying round 3, and they're one round, which they wouldn't be seeded for, but they're one round away from being potential opponents for us in the playoff round. Now, I realise that a lot has got to happen here, but do you think Celtic have included some sort of clause that forbids Palma from being able to play against us in Champions League qualifying if that situation was to arise? You probably remember a decade and a bit ago, and Mo Bangura, who was officially a Celtic player but on loan at Elfsborg, actually played against us for Elfsborg in a Champions League qualifier. And I do have memory of that, but don't remember it too well. And I was doing a bit of digging into what was being said at that time, and I think it was quite a big deal at the time. Neil Lennon, who was our manager, there was like quotes from him saying, you know, we've made it clear to Elfsborg how we feel about this, but they're just looking out for themselves. And, you know, Mo Bangura's in a pretty tough position. I think he ended up playing, didn't he? And it was a little bit awkward, but we won the tie. And I think basically the story is here that in UEFA competition, players on loan at a club can play against a parent club if there's no clause in the deal to say they can't. You might remember Philip Coutinho playing against Barcelona for Bayern Munich and actually scoring as well. So I realise I'm spending a little bit of time here on something that is pretty likely not to happen. There's loads of things that have to happen in order for this to be a possibility, but yeah, I feel like we've been here before. Lewis Palma coming back to haunt us and knock us out of Champions League qualifying. Yeah. A similar situation emerging with Marco Tilio. I say that, I don't mean similar in terms of Marco Tilio being able to play against us as well in the Champions League. I mean similar in terms of leaving the club on loan and probably permanently as well in a year. So this is Rapid Vienna that Marco Tilio is heading to on a season-long loan. It's been reported by Sky Germany that we're talking about a £350,000 loan fee for the year. So we're going to get that regardless. And Sky say that if Tilio appears in 20 or more competitive matches, then an obligation to buy will also be activated. They say Rapid would have to pay what is around £1.3 million to sign Tilio. I also saw it reported by actually a Sky Germany journalist, the guy Florian Plettenberg, that it's actually 20 starts that Tilio has to make for Rapid for this deal to be initiated. So not sure if it's 20 starts or just 20 appearances in total, but I think the bottom line here is that Tilio's going out on loan. He doesn't have a future at Celtic, and if he does well enough with Rapid to the extent that they play him for however many games, then he's going to be signing for them permanently. So yeah, but I also noticed Melbourne City here had a thing out earlier saying that Tilio's time with Melbourne City had come to an end. So obviously the timing there is not a coincidence. They'll have heard that he's not going to be coming back to them because he's going somewhere else. So yeah, Marco Tilio off to Rapid on loan for the rest of the season. I think we only paid like $1.5 million for him a couple of years ago. So we may well end up making a profit on him and potentially Lewis Palma as well, or certainly not losing a lot of money on these guys. So interesting stuff. I mentioned earlier the disastrous summer transfer window of 2023. People always, when they look at the terrible windows, it's always that sitting here thinking Pater Celtic gave it in the COVID season and we had that awful window. But for me, like 2 years ago, summer window when Brendan Rodgers first came back, what a horrendous array of signings we have looking at that now. I was actually looking at the 9 that were signed, and I think it's only Yang and Bernardo who are left. Kwon is likely to leave the club. Brendan Rodgers has said that. Odin Holmes out on loan at LAFC until the end of the calendar year, but he doesn't appear to have a future with us anyway. And like, who have we lost so far this summer? Like Lagerbielke's left permanently. Palma's now leaving on loan. Tilio's leaving on loan. Naropski's left on loan, I think, with an option to buy. Kwon's going to be going. There's been talk of Yang going. I mean, it was a totally disastrous summer window that we're still kind of mopping up, to be honest. But yeah, thankfully things can't be as bad this time. Just switching focus to Japan, a couple of things I noticed. I noticed that Spinici's Japanese football journalist Kazu Kikuchi was tweeting about Shin Yamada, and he's actually reported that Shin Yamada had chosen Celtic amid offers from the German Bundesliga. So that is interesting. He also, in a separate tweet, reported that we made an offer for Yamada in January. So Yamada, clearly someone we've been interested in for a fair amount of time, quite possibly since like that amazing season he had last year. That would have probably alerted us at that stage. So Yamada, not like just someone we've come across this summer. We wanted to sign him in January, which maybe just suggests that he is a Kyogo replacement. If we're looking at him in January, Kyogo leaving, Yamada in, didn't happen at that stage, but it's happened now. So maybe add some weight to the theory that Yamada is the Kyogo replacement. But I think Brendan Rodgers wants to sign another striker as well. Also, a bit of chat late last night about a new player. I'm not going to spend ages on this because, I'm not sure he's going to be coming to Celtic, to be honest. But it is an 18-year-old Serbian defensive midfielder, Andrej Bačanin, I'm going with. I'm pretty sure that's right. He plays for Kukariki. Pretty sure that's right. Serbian team, and their sporting director was speaking last night after their league opener, a game they won, but Bačanin didn't actually play in that match. A lot of speculation about him leaving the club. So their sporting director last night said, there is a lot of interest in our young players, and the transfer of Andrej Bačanin is currently in focus. He attracted the attention of numerous clubs by playing for our team last season, but also for the Serbian national team at his age. We had calls from the Scottish giants Celtic and Rangers, Ajax, Udinese and some other teams are interested. It is possible that some other options will appear, and I expect the transfer to be realised in the next 10 days. So who knows? I always tend to zone out when I see like Celtic and Rangers mentioned together, but also like that's more when it kind of comes from like it comes in transfer reports and you just feel like they've been lumped together in a bit of nonsense. So this is actually coming from someone at the club, like the sporting director of the club that's selling the player. Like, would he lie? I don't know. Maybe you bring things up just to add interest to your player or whatever. That could be what's going on here. Feels like more of an agent's job, but saying that Celtic have been interested in Bačanin or certainly, you know, I've shown some sort of interest in him. So yeah, don't think this is one that's going to happen, but it is worth telling you about anyway. As I say, he's an 18-year-old defensive midfielder. Be great if we could get someone like just to play the odd game here and there under Callum McGregor and give him a rest from time to time. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'll head off for now and I'll return tomorrow.